Hello, everybody. Hello. Let's just turn that down a little bit. There we go. Hello, I'm the Cranky Canuck, otherwise known as Cranky Canuck. So there you go. And this is Late Night with Cranky and Friends. My two friends tonight on that side of the board is Mr. Red Mage. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Very fine, sir. And yourself?
I'm doing okay. A little tired today. It's been a long day, but I'm trying to get myself into a pattern so that I can actually do the morning show as a semi-reasonable human being. But on the other side, we have the very beautiful Karida. How are you? Now, Karida, you just slid out of view. I just gave you.
Give me a moment. I'm having some sudden technical difficulties with clicking around the screen for some reason.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. How, other than technical difficulties, how are you doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah?
Had a little bit of...
You were streaming earlier. What were you streaming?
I was streaming The Weaponographist, which is by Puba Games, and you'll be interviewing them on Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Yes, and I am looking so forward to that. That is going to be a lot of fun. I can't... yeah, it's going to be a riot. I'm really looking forward to it. But in the meantime, we do have a show load of good stuff for tonight. Let me just make sure I got my show notes up here so I know where the hell I'm going and what the hell I'm saying. Twitter is a strange beast. It's like something that you either really need to be able to use on a daily basis, like me, and I don't use it enough, or you don't use it at all. What's the matter, Krida?
I cannot switch between my browser tabs. It closes the thing entirely, or it closes the tab, even if it'll click on the X, and whenever I cannot bring up my bookmarks to bring up the video page.
Uh-oh. I don't know what to suggest.
Neither do I.
Is your laptop handy?
It is not set up for me to be able to use.
Well, no, I meant just to be able to, reference stuff.
Unfortunately, it's all the way over there.
Oh, okay. All right.
And the battery would not last long enough through the show.
Oh, damn those laptop batteries. That's a bitch that everybody talk, like, we'll get to the other stuff in a minute, but, like, you raise a good, one of my kind of bitch points about the so-called mobile generation that we're living in. We're not that mobile, folks. Because the battery technology we're using in our mobile stuff sucks rocks. Like, you literally have to carry around a USB umbilical cord so that you can, power yourself up when you get down to that dangerous level. And like, then you've got that problem. Where do I plug in? Or you leave it like me. Mine's plugged in all day. Like, you're the hardware person, Crowded. Do you, like, I know you follow hardware probably more than most of us. Have you seen anything along, like battery technology that is coming down the pipe that is actually going to be?
Not really.
Because, like, until we get better batteries, I'm sorry, mobile is a joke. It really is. It's a dream more than anything else. But anyway, that's just, like, what do you, like, do you guys disagree with me, or like, what do you think?
God, no, I don't disagree at all. Like, my laptop, depending on what I was doing, would hold a 2 to 4 hour charge. And right now, like, the battery needs to be replaced, so I'm lucky if I get an hour out of it half the time. My phone's even worse. Like, I typically charge it while I'm sitting here, and then go to bed, and don't bring the charger with me, and I'm down to about 60% battery life after I've passed out and woken up, just from letting it sit.
Yeah.
So, like, like, even on power saving mode, that the Note 2 has. Just they're not as good as they used to be, and it's one of the reasons. Kind of like I've been looking at stuff like the Pebble smartwatches, because my ex got one of those, the Samsung ones, and the battery life cannot be good on those comparatively.
Well, no, because like you got to figure the size of the battery you're dealing with in that little sucker. Like, and like, okay, here's the thing. This is what I don't understand about all this fascination with smartwatches or other things. Not only do you then have your phone that you've got to charge, you now have a smartwatch that requires the phone to be usable to be charged, and it requires more charging than the phone does. Care to explain that one? Like, why are you spending that kind of money on basically something that is a trinket? It's an electronic trinket.
Yeah, like a lot of these smartwatches they have now, you use it throughout the day, and you got to recharge it every night. Like that's why I'm looking at shopping for a Pebble, because you maybe charge it twice a week, at most.
Like, have you seen the new Apple MacBooks, like the guts of them?
Not at all.
It's 3/4 battery. The actual part of the working part.
Wow.
I know, it literally is 3/4 battery.
Stephen Hawking believes that our universe is in some sense unique.
That is insane.
It is.
Because we have life and consciousness.
You've got
You have thinking beings.
a so-so laptop that okay, it's it's an Apple product. It's hardware good. Okay, like they do make good hardware. I will give Apple that. They make excellent hardware, and their OS. And where did Carida go? Carida.
It wasn't me.
I bet she's doing a quick reboot.
Well, maybe. But like, just to put that in perspective with the battery-ish thing, so I've got my laptop handy. That is the battery.
Yeah.
That is less than a quarter. I don't even know if this is going to be visible. That's the spot where it goes. Less than a quarter. And mind you, the laptop is 5 years old, refurbished.
Hang on, folks, while we'll try and get Carida back. She's actually looks like she's lost her internet connection, so our screen will be a little wonky for the next little bit. So just be patient, and we'll get it back. If not, I will have to do a real live quick change. But yeah, like I could not believe when I saw the MacBook. Like it was literally 3/4 of it was battery.
Yeah.
And that's just insane.
Yeah, well, if they want to have a long-lasting battery on those devices, like, 'cause you're right, Apple makes great products and great hardware, but the problem is that with the amount of power that they draw, they need a big battery like that to sustain a long battery life. Like, it's just pure, math at that point.
Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry, guys. We're just waiting to see if we can get Carida back. I am not sure how we're gonna there we go. Okay. Hang on. We're getting you back, Carida. There we go. God, you gotta love live. Don't you love live shit? Yeah. So, did you get everything working now?
Yeah. Since the net blipped, I just took a moment to go ahead and reboot my system.
Wow. Okay.
Damn,
cool.
that's fast.
That is fast. That's.
He's still out for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, like even my new machine still takes a little longer than that. Like that's a powerhouse. Anyway, we were talking about Twitter being like an almost necessary beast, but it's also been a place where there's been a lot of harassment of people, a lot of very cruel treatment of people, And even Dick Costello has come out and said that Twitter is not doing its job in that regard. One of the newest victims of harassment on Twitter, funnily enough, is Mortal Kombat 10's producer, Sean Himmerich. And he says he's quit Twitter over the threats that he's gotten. Now, what he has said is, so to be clear, the reason I don't want to do this Twitter thing anymore is not fans asking for characters or hints or whatever. I get that it's passion, the love for Mortal Kombat, and I also have that. So I get it. No problem. I'm glad people care about their favorites. He says, I used to be thick-skinned enough for the random personal attacks. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I've been in my share of fights. However, I cannot deal with the threats of violence to my wife and now young daughter. Threats of sexual violence is even more disturbing. So he's quit. You want to fight me for any reason? I'm probably willing to go, verbally or physically. I can hold my own. But threats on my ladies? No.
Wasn't this spouted off as someone was pissed that a certain character wasn't in Mortal Kombat 10 and they decided to utter threats of I'm going to rape your wife or something like that?
I don't know exactly what led into it.
I think I saw the original tweet in one of the other articles we had up there and earlier. But like, really? A character so if it's your favorite or not isn't in the game and you do that? Like, what kind of people are we dealing with these days? Like, seriously. And this is the problem with stuff like Twitter where you can be completely anonymous and just spout off at the mouth with no repercussions.
I have but one thing to say to these people. Stop breaking Wheaton's Law, asshole.
Yeah, but you see, unfortunately, Wheaton's Law, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's don't be a dick, is all well and fine to say, and it's all well and fine for, those of us with any intelligence and common sense and decency and respect to follow. But you're dealing with people that don't have any of those things. And they've now got a pulpit to stand on. And unfortunately, I see, here's the thing, I don't know what Twitter can do. Like, you gotta understand, I've been using Twitter now through various accounts since it first launched. From when it first launched at South by Southwest, and we're going back many, many years now. For almost as long as Twitter's been around, I've been using the service. I even wrote or developed a Windows client for Twitter for almost a year and a half to 2 years. So I know Twitter. I know the ins and outs of it from both as a developer and a user and as a advisor of how to use it. But I don't think there's anything Twitter can really do. Sure, they can put flag this comment, but that doesn't stop the comment from happening.
No, and the problem is that these people are saying these things in a place where they can completely hide. One of these punks decided to come up to me and say it to me to my face. They wouldn't be standing very long. They'd be on the floor in less than a second. Especially when you want to verbally attack me, that's fine. You're still going to get dummied. But when it comes to my significant other, my family, my close personal friends, you're done. I will walk away in handcuffs if I have to. There's a point in life where these people are not understanding that you say this shit on the streets, you are done.
Yeah. And
that's the problem. They don't have those repercussions, is that they spout off and get knocked out.
Yep. They feel safe to just say whatever the hell they want with no repercussions.
And that is the problem. And like I said, I don't think there's anything Twitter can do to change that. I think that this is much more a social, societal problem than it is a Twitter problem. Because you see this you see it happen on Facebook, you see it happen on forums, you see it happen in chat rooms. You see it happen. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. You see this kind of bullshit. And it's like people, for some reason, they get on the internet and they suddenly lose all sense of common decency. And I don't know what you can do to change that. I really don't. And to be honest, I don't think there is anything you can do to change that. Because that's the way the internet is. It allows for people to have a soapbox or to spout shit and get away with it. It's just, I don't know. Don't think there's any real there's no real answer for this. There really isn't.
Unfortunately not.
Your volume's down a little bit there, Karida.
Said unfortunately not. How's that?
That's better. Now, this is another one that really freaked me out when I saw this. Imagine you've got kids that are going to school, right? And you know, kids, they play all kinds of video games, and we really don't worry about what ones they're playing, really. You know, most parents don't. But what would you think if suddenly you had the authorities knocking on your door because your kid was playing GTA 5? Because that's what can happen in one area of Britain right now. Okay? Because what the Natwich Education Partnership, a group of 14 primary and 2 secondary schools in Cheshire, wrote to parents last month after finding some children have been playing the likes of Grand Theft Auto, Gears of War, and Call of Duty. And they said, if your child is allowed to have inappropriate access to any game or associated product that is designated 13 plus, we are advised to contact the police and children's social care, as this is deemed neglectful.
18 plus.
Yeah.
Is that 18 plus?
That's 18 plus.
Okay, all right. I should really wear my glasses. They go on, you know.
Has get John in here to explain this. He's got some explaining to do.
Haas is gone for the night. She's
I know.
She's not here. Now, this is not going over too well, needless to say. All right? And we'll get to our reactions on this in a minute. But Margaret Morrissey, a parent out loud, agreed that children should not play violent games, but thought the threat from head teachers was a step too far. Accepting the huge concerns about these violent games and their effect on children, I think schools are stepping outside the realm of what is probably acceptable. It will be construed by many parents as a threat and is not helpful. If schools want to get the support of parents and gain their confidence, threatening them with social services will not help. Elaine Halligan of the London Director of Parent Practice said she understood why teachers had issued the letter, but insisted getting social services involved is an absolute disaster because it starts telling parents that we don't trust you. We don't trust you will be responsible for your children. Now, like I said, what would you do? And I'll ask this of chat, like if you had kids, you know, and many parents don't see the problem with kids playing a lot of these games. You know, if you're 14 or 15 years old, really, you know, your parents, a lot of parents don't care. They don't see anything wrong with it. And I know myself as a parent, or if I was a parent, like as long as I'm monitoring them and like I'm keeping an eye on what they're doing and what, like, 'cause when my grandson was here, you can be damn sure that he wasn't playing Nintendo, like the Xbox, in a different room. He was in the same room I was. You know. But I like. What do you think about this kind of attitude?
You know what? I'm with the school board on this one. Maybe not to the level of social services or what have you, because like, don't get me wrong, I was raised proper. My parents raised me with a modicum of respect and decency And I still played a lot of these games like Quake when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah, you didn't
But
turn
when
out
I-
too bad.
But when I have kids, like I'm not gonna let a 10-year-old play Grand Theft Auto.
Well, no, I'm
Like if my kid comes home with Grand Theft Auto, there is going to be a belt in their future. I won't even hesitate, because you know what? It's one thing for me to do it, and I was kind of raised in a household where I was watching R-rated movies with my parents very early. Like RoboCop and the original Terminator scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, as it should. But you know what? The ESRB system is there for a reason, and it's not just like thrown at the wall and see what sticks. There's reasoning for it. It's just like there's reasoning for music and movies and television to have ratings. So
yeah, but it's like Tamarin says. I have kids now grown, and I always played the games with them. All the games, even the ones I didn't like. I did it to help them make sense of things. Right? Like, to assume, for a person outside of your home unit to assume that you are being a neglectful parent because your child is playing GTA 5 or one of those, plus 18 games, which I think is bullshit anyway. They don't have that right. I'm sorry.
And Mr. Stocky Hands, yes, they are suggested ratings, but companies like GameStop, EB Games will not sell a mature rated title to a minor. Period. End.
Fine.
They have to adhere
They
to
could
that.
actually get in trouble for selling it.
Yes. That's
But-
fine.
It is nowhere is it, or as far as I know, nowhere is it illegal for you to buy it for a child.
Yep.
Unlike, say, like alcohol.
Like, granted, video games are now being used as the babysitter like televisions were when I was growing up. Sit the kid in front of the TV or the console or the computer and just let them disappear out of your line of sight and your concern, and you go on with what you're doing. That I don't agree with, but that's on the parents, and some teacher or some dickwad outside of that family unit doesn't have the right to call or judge what's happening. As long as the child is, thank you, Yaz, very much for the follow. Like, what do you think, Karida?
I could understand if they wanted to go to the parent and ask, are you aware that your child is playing this game?
I got no problem with that.
Yeah. But to go and call social services,
And assume that
That-
the child is being neglected.
that is utterly atrocious.
Like, people, if you don't understand what the Latin term for teacher is, it's locus parentis, okay? Which means in place of the parent. Which means while you are in the school, the teacher is taking the place of your parent. Once that child steps outside of those doors, that responsibility is over. And by doing this, I'm sorry, you're overstepping your bounds. Point blank, you're overstepping your bounds. Sure, send a letter home with the kid, or phone the parents up and say, listen, we found out that your child is playing this plus 18 game, which we don't necessarily think, do you know that he's doing this or she's doing this? And then leave it in the control of the parent.
Yeah, but I guess on the same page, like if they're a teacher notices that a child's exhibiting signs of abuse, they're within, like you said,
No, but
they're within rights to doing something about
that
it too.
That is different. That's
But
a
again,
whole
like you said,
that's a
it's
whole
within
different
it's within the school.
Yeah, but see, that's a whole different kettle of fish. If a teacher notices that a child is being physically abused or mentally abused or psychologically abused, yes, they legally have to report it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And that I am absolutely okay
Yes.
with.
But
yeah,
a child
of course.
playing a plus 18 game, it's not physical abuse. It's not mental abuse. It's not psychological abuse. It's just not. It may at the very worst be bad parenting, depending on your point of view as a parent. Not society's. And that's where I have a problem with this. Society is telling me how I'm supposed to be able to raise my child. No.
I mean, my girlfriend's mom actually, look, she gave her kids small amounts of liquor from the time that they were young. I mean, there was the thing of introduce them to it. They know that I'm always here, and they're not going to run off and go crazy with it.
When I was
And neither of them have.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was quite common on like a Friday or Saturday night when my parents had a bottle of wine with dinner, I could have that much. Right?
Yeah. I had beer as a kid too, like a little shot glass, and
Yeah.
decided I didn't want anything to do with it.
That's parental response. Like that's a parent's right to do that. But anyway, like this, I just found this whole story just mind-blowingly stupid and wrong. And this is just it pisses me off so much when I see this kind of shit. Almost as much as finding out that Star Citizen is still selling shit to the point they're making like, what was it? They've made more than $1.2 million in the last week, with most of the money coming from selling chips.
And their newest one
Yeah,
is $250, and you can't even use it yet.
no.
They're selling it for 1 week.
The
Or something like
A3G
that.
Vanguard is the United Empire of Earth's dedicated deep space fighter. Initially developed as a bomber-destroyer, the Vanguard is a hard-charging bulldog of a ship which features extensive forward-mounted weaponry designed to tear through the shields and armor of other spacecraft, the Post reads. 4 high-caliber forward laser cannons and a massive central Gatling gun give the Vanguard an unprecedented amount of sheer striking power. So named because their multiple jump range allows them to form in the front of any military expedition, Vanguard has seen extensive service against the Vanduul. Because there's only one problem. You can't fly it in the fucking game.
You can't even have it in your hangar yet.
And people are buying it for $250. What the fuck are you buying?
What?
I do not understand this. You know, the game is coming out in chunks, literally in chunks. Okay, granted, it's finally coming out, but they've got like $77 million now. They've raised $77 million, and we do not have a complete game.
Yeah, Corgat, you'll have it later, but of course also, you don't have it permanently.
But you're also paying 5 times more than the game's normally going to be worth for any PC game.
But you see, part of the deal when you buy it now is you get insurance on it.
Yeah, it automatically comes with like 6 months of insurance.
On what?
What are you
On the
buying
ship?
fucking insurance
Well-
for?
Whenever the game is released and your ship is blown up, as long as your insurance is there, you get your hull replaced for free.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that they are selling in-game insurance on digital fighter things that are meant to blow up in the first place?
Yep. If they blow up and you don't have insurance,
It's the same thing as EVE Online does.
Fuck.
you have to
Have
buy
the
it
ship
with
insured.
in-game money. Only Dangerous has you insure it, which is that is basically you have to pay 6% of the total value of your ship if it gets blown up.
But the whole thing in games is you get fucking killed. Your ships get blown up. Like, that's the whole point. So you go back and you make another one. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's a money sink.
It's a thing that people pay to have some of the really big ships at launch.
Like,
That's all it is. So basically, it's starting out as pay to win, effectively.
I said this on Cranky Gamers a long time ago. Star Citizen is right now is nothing more than a fucking Ponzi scheme.
It's a very expensive vaporware.
Like, no, we actually have something.
Something is not a complete game. Like, Warcraft Adventures had something before they scrapped it. StarCraft Ghost had something before it got scrapped. Yeah. I'm with you. This is ridiculous.
Okay.
Korgath. It literally is, you pay to be to have it. You'll have the ship during the development period in the alpha and beta. You can use it. If it gets blown up, fine, you have it. At release, you have a timer that starts ticking for every one of your ships that you've bought. Which some ships, whenever they back them back during the Kickstarter, they have lifetime insurance on them. But the ones that you can buy now, they come with a 6-month insurance claim. If your ship blows up during that period, they will replace the hull. You still just have to re-outfit it with all your weapons. However,
wait, you still have to re-outfit it even after you've
Yes, the insurance is only for the hull.
Jesus Christ.
And
people are falling for this shit. I don't believe it.
After that period of time, even if it expired like 1 minute ago and you get blown up, you've lost your ship. Now, they may still have a thing of where you can pay in-game money to for insurance or whatnot, but I don't really know that much on there.
This is like, I'm sorry, but like.
Well, forget what it is you will get these ships. All the ships you're buying, you may not have them during the beta, but you will have them at launch instead of starting out in the most basic ship and working your way up.
As like I said, this is the same model that EVE Online uses. You insure your ship for X percentage. The more you put into it, the more you get back. You blow your ship up, you get the hull, you get the ship, but you gotta re-outfit it again. So it's the exact same model. Which it's just, you know what? For an MMO style game, you shouldn't need insurance. Period.
Oh, here's the fun thing. They also have the potential for permadeath.
Wait, what? So you're telling me someone who spends $250 X amount of times to buy these Vanguards, or 300, 400, 500 for the other ship? Because, like, remember, folks, there's one ship in this game that somebody paid $10,000 for.
The $10,000 one was basically you get everything. Get everything that they had at the time.
You mean some sucker paid $10,000 for it?
Yeah, Korgath, I agree with you. It's just, like...
I mean, you can also wait until the game comes out and pay like $40, $50, get the game and play it, and then just work your way up without having to actually buy the ships with real money.
Meanwhile, you're competing against people who are coming to the game fully loaded.
Yep.
Now, tell me how that's not pay to win.
At Korgath, I've been following this stuff for a good while.
Yeah, Korgath, like, I'm sorry, dude, but I've been writing about Star Citizen now for a good solid 2 years. Karaita's been following it for almost as long. When it comes to this, we kind of know what the hell we're talking about. Okay? So I'm sorry. We do have a lot of the information. It just, we're constantly getting new information about how fucking stupid this is.
We're talking about Star Citizen, Corgat.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to something possibly sensible, which actually you might actually like this one, Krida. Armello is from who's developed by Melbourne studio League of Geeks. Melbourne is a digital tabletop game. I'm trying to. The game lends itself to storytelling. Kane says the point of every match is for someone to become the king or queen. When the game starts, everyone's like, "I'll help you if you help me. I won't throw an axe in your face if you don't throw an axe in my face." But 8 or 9 turns in, it all goes away. Everyone's just desperate to get to the throne, and relationships fall apart. We do have a video for it. It's called Armello, and let's have a look and see what they have to say.
For a time, the kingdom of Armello was at peace. Then came a darkness, a creeping horror inside our brightest light, ravaging Armello. And so the clans called forth their heroes to take the throne. But which hero will fate favor? For every journey is different. Difficult decisions will line their path. And new friends are sure to become enemies. The prestige race is a cutthroat game, where webs are weaved with rascals and rogues. With enough influence and a little luck, they might even earn the king's ear. They'll want a trusty kit, a strong party. For tales of perils and treasure abound. And when terror awakens from dungeons deep, and rot sweeps the land, will heroes kneel to darkness or light the way? Hero, Armello's fate lies in your hands. For clan and kingdom, the race for the throne has begun.
So that's Armello. Now they had a successful $300,000 Kickstarter, and they are now in the middle of a 6-month early access stint. I will put the link. I think that's the link to the early access page. I'll throw that in chat in case anybody's interested. What do you think, Karada?
Reading about it did more for me than this video did. It's... I'm torn, because it does have an interesting setup for it, especially with the way a lot of it was sounding and the way they've written it out, where it does sound like it's going to play out a lot like a board game. But that trailer was just
confusing.
It didn't do much to pull me in.
What about you, Red? What did you think?
It looks interesting because the kind of like as the article even mentions, like the RNG driven strategy RPG tabletop kind of thing. It looks pretty interesting. It's I want to see more of it just to kind of get a better feel, because it does seem like it's as much as there is there. It feels like something is left out in the video. Like I feel like I'm missing something out of it.
that seems to be what Chad is saying as well. Like Oren says, the trailer was rather blah. It's not my cup of tea or game to play. So I really can't say much about it other than the fact that it looks interesting. It looks like we're seeing a lot like what Darkest Dungeons is no, not Darkest Dungeons. What's the Hands of Fate? Remind like that kind of style or Hearthstone. It's this card based game that seems to be becoming popular. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if is anybody going to be even following this in 6 months from now.
It looked, excuse me, it looked like it was an odd take on kind of like a 4X type thing. However, using some cards to be able to, in like the Hand of Fate manner, to be able to give you more to do during the fights.
Now,
that's what it almost seemed like.
The boss of Twitch, nice one there. He says, if you go early access, the last thing you want is a trailer that is blah.
Yeah, if you kind of want to build the hype of the game, like that really didn't hit that bar.
What does your shirt say, Red?
Threat Signal. It's a band my second cousin was in.
Ah, okay.
It's kind of thrash metal.
Someone was asking.
Yeah, I saw.
If anybody is into Tekken 7 is coming out with some new characters. It's a fighting game, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter type thing. We've got videos of the 3 new characters. They're very short, but I thought, if anybody's interested in Tekken, we'll take a look at them, and we can go basically, go from there. The first one up is Josie. Not yet. I gotta switch screens. I'm tired. I am very tired. First one up is Josie.
New challenger, Josie Rizal.
I got this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mix up with her. Not at all. At least it's not as bloody as Mortal Kombat. Oh,
Tekken never was.
I can't believe I won.
Oh, and, yeah.
That's a really weird contrast.
Yeah.
New challenger, Jin Kazama.
Neither would I, Leatherneck.
New challenger, Devil Jin.
Hey, Smurf. Yep.
That they were a platypus.
Yeah, that was the 3 new characters that are coming in Tekken 7. You know, the last fighting game I played, it was I guess they were like Street Fighter side-scroller type. That was the last one I played, and I sucked. But I think, you know, don't get me wrong, I like fighting games that can be fun to watch, and I really like how, you know, like Mortal Kombat and Tekken and Street Fighter now are branched like into a more 3D type look to them. It makes it more enjoyable to watch, as far as I'm concerned. But what do you guys think? Like, what do you think of these? Is Tekken on your, like, one of your fighting games you like, or these characters, or what's your thoughts?
Tekken has never been my favorite of the genre. However, I do enjoy playing it. But the time that I really enjoy playing the fighting games is whenever I can get my best friend in the room. And then he and I just can spend hours playing through various different ones, and him beating my ass over and over and over. Until all of a sudden I find the perfect character and he flips his shit because he cannot beat me. The funniest time was whenever we were playing Guilty Gear X back on the Dreamcast. And he looked at me funny because I pulled out Zato 1, a shadow demon creature, or guy who's basically possessed by a shadow demon. So he'd never seen anyone be able to play with the character before. And then for like a week straight, he could not beat me. Period. I was so pissed.
What about you, Red?
The Tekken's not my top favorite. Like, fighting games are not normally my thing, but I end up leaning towards like the crossover ones, like the Capcom SNK fighting games or Capcom versus Street Fighter. I did get Tekken 5 a long while ago, and I know Jin is not a new character, but the one thing I did like about the Tekken series, especially the later ones, is that 3D arena you could go back and forth in. Instead of going laterally, you can actually move towards the camera, away from it. So it gave...
Well, Tekken always did have 3D platform bit.
Yeah, I never played most of the early ones, so I don't know. But having that kind of 3D landscape as opposed to just jumping back and forth kind of gave it a little bit of a different feel, a little more strategy to it, but...
I'm with Bijou. I like the Dead or Alive.
Let's see. Dead or...
That's the one with
Dead or Alive, Samurai Showdown, Guilty Gear X.
It's
King of Fighters.
It's the breast physics. I'm just fascinated by breast physics. What can I say? Now, quickly before we head out to break. Actually, no. We'll take our 5-minute break, folks. I got to get some fresh water and take care of a couple things. But in the meantime, if you're new here, first, second, third time, please consider hitting that follow button if you like what you've seen, you hear, your conversation. Lets us know that we're doing something right. We really appreciate every single damn follow we get, more than you will ever know. But in the meantime, yes, we are going to take a 5-minute break. We will be back in 5.
When was he brought in?
About 48 minutes ago. Site team found him out in Sector 3, some apartment building in the suburb of Baltimore.
You been briefed yet?
No, sir. We assumed that you would want to...
You assumed correctly. We have his current evaluation charts. And get me eyes on this room. I want this recorded.
Got it.
Oh, and Lambert. Coffee. We're gonna be here a while.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be him. I want to know exactly who this son of a bitch is. name is Special Agent Vernon Wilkes, and I'm the station chief here in this office. And you are? Well, we already know who you are, don't we? Now, why you're here, that's the question. You know your file. It's pretty impressive. 3 years SEAL training, 8 months Dev Group, another 8 on Tactical Response SAD.
So, I met this blonde.
It says here, on the farm they called you the Ghost.
Is it going hot?
Ran Sims faster and quieter than anyone else.
Say, I come on. You, this way.
Like you weren't even there. Held your breath on that one for what? 8, 9 minutes? And the whole time, not one word they got from you.
I say what needs to be said.
Then answer me this. Who are you? Really? Gorski. Know him? Ex-KGB, Russian national. U.S. cooperating intel contact, too. 9 years ago, his son was kidnapped, ransomed. We anticipated political fallout. NATO had SAD come in to handle it. Kid died. The whole operation was botched.
And?
Gorski never recovered. Blamed us for everything, of course. And contact went cold, dropped off the map, gone. Only 18 months ago, he shows back up trading backlogged U.S. intel in Eastern Europe.
Why are you telling me all this?
72 hours ago, Langley flagged one of our data encryption keys on a server in Berlin. Highly sensitive intel went to some very damaging channels.
You think it's your intel?
I think it's him. And I want to go in and shut it down. I asked Langley for a team. And they gave me a name. Your name. Sam Fisher. They say you're the one we're looking for. The one that'll do what's necessary. That understands.
You think you can hide in the shadows, huh? I'm not afraid of the dark.
The one that can't be caught. The Invisible Man.
Who do you think you are, huh? Who the hell are you?
The Splinter Cell. So, Fisher, can I count you in?
And we're back. We're back. Now, like I was saying before break, we have a couple trailers for probably one of the most anticipated games to come out this year, and that has to be Halo 5, which is going to be hitting the Xbox One on October 27th underneath the name Halo 5 Guardians. Now, there are, like I said, there are two separate videos, and they're coming at it the same endpoint, but from two different viewpoints. If you understand what I'm saying there. The first one up is from the viewpoint of Locke, who is the new character in the Guardian, in the Halo universe. So let's have a look at that and see what you guys think, and then we'll look at the other one.
All hail the conquering hero. Let us remember him as our protector, and not the one who gave us this. As our savior, and not our betrayer. Let us see him forever as you, and not as you. All hail the conquering hero. The one who was supposed to save us all. But now I must save us from you.
Okay, now on to the second one.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you were looking for? Was everything you've compromised, everything you've done, worth it? Was it? You've completed your mission, Spartan Locke. Mine is just beginning.
Okay, so that's the two trailers, and like I said, it's coming to the same endpoint from two different viewpoints with two different endings or two different beginnings. Like, I gotta admit, when I first watched these, I'm confused. It's an interesting idea that they've done with this. I'm not sure where this is going with the game. But given that Locke is, they're doing the web series with Agent Locke before he becomes Spartan Locke, to bring him into the canon, and apparently Master Chief has become a traitor. This story line has become a little convoluted, maybe?
Well, this could also mean that there's a dual campaign. Like 2 separate campaigns that are running. But then again, as they always say, the greatest villain is the hero of his own story. So, we don't know.
Like, what did you think of like, what was being portrayed in those 2 videos, Coretta? Like, I don't know if you're a Halo player or if you're,
I have not played any of the Halo games. However, I do like to go and read up on the story and the lore and stuff. So this has me wanting to go back and read it through again. And follow. Of course, I know I will lose hours running through all the rabbit holes. But
okay, here's an how much okay, I've played 1 or 2 of the Halos. I never really got into the story. Like, how much of the lore is there? Like, how much? Like, I've seen some of the web series, like the one they did with the kids that were becoming Spartans and so on and so forth. But how much lore is there?
you can spend hours digging around and reading stuff.
And plus the novels they've written on top of that.
Which is where they pull a fair bit of it as well.
Like even, I think Halo Reach is supposed to predate some of the original Halo games in the story. Because it's, 5 or 6 Spartans that basically it's when they found Cortana. Like they found her, I guess, in an underground, it was like an ancient crashed ship or something. And they found her, and like the guy you play is literally the last man standing to help recover her. So like there is a lot of story. Of course I have to go back and go and play every single one of them all over again to really catch it all, because the story in Halo is not your primary thing that you're worried about. It's
Nano agrees with you. Reach does predate the first Halo game.
Yeah, because at the time that Halo 1 came out, at least in the story, Master Chief was the only Spartan. Like, that was the only one left, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that's like he was. Yeah, because that's what I remember from the one, I think it was Halo that I played. It was whatever one came on the PC.
But he was like John. It's like, I remember his actual number designation, but he was one of many. Like, there was a whole platoon of them, and Reach is basically tells of them getting killed off or sacrificing themselves. So, like I said, there's too much to really pick up on. Oh, 117. Thanks, Platypus.
Cranky, you showed us a video where they took all of the movies from all of the games that have been released so far.
Yeah.
And that in itself was like, 11 hours?
Yep, 11 hours. Yeah.
And so that is 11 hours worth of lore right there, pretty much.
Yeah, I still have that bookmark to sit and watch one day when I got nothing, which I always have something to do, it seems.
And that doesn't include any of the novels, any of the other stuff that they've done up. So you can imagine just how long you can spend.
You know, it's kind of funny because I can't remember who said it in chat. Someone said people read video game stories, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah, so am I. But sometimes it amazes me that video games aren't just the action; they are the story, and there are people that actually like the story more than they like the game. And I think I gotta admit, I think that is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and there's been stories written out of games that really, like, trying to get a story out of it is like grasping at straws. Like, believe it or not, and some people will know this too, there were 4 Doom novels. And I read all 4.
I had one of them.
All 4. You know what? And they were actually entertaining. Like,
So like you have to cover yourself in orange to be able to get the demons to not smell you and follow you and come after you.
well, yeah, and the main character, Flynn Taggart, is supposedly like trying to catch up with his old squad mate, and I always remember this one that he has to squeeze through a portion of the wall and basically leaves like skin behind while in the process. It's like, yeah, no.
What did you think of the Doom movie?
What Doom movie?
Yeah, they made a movie, Doom.
What movie?
You know what? It was a shut-off brain movie, but I fail to recognize the last 15 to 20 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Once The Rock goes like weird mutant, I'm done. Sorry, not happening.
Yeah, I don't think it was The Rock's most memorable role that he's played. Speaking of memorable, I gotta ask, when you sit down to get into some serious gaming, do you ever consider what you're wearing might help make you feel more comfortable and be able to concentrate more on your game? Like, we're talking a serious run of gaming here.
No. Jeans and t-shirt.
So I imagine that
You would wear that much?
Well, last time I did a serious gaming marathon, I had Giotto over here, and sorry, I don't fly that way.
Yeah.
See, that's one problem with it's the one drawback to having your roommate. Because before, I wouldn't be able to do these streams. So I was pretty much just running around the house just in my undies.
Oh, yes.
Utterly topless.
And don't do that to an old man, okay? Come on now. Be fair.
What?
Anyway, so I guess the idea of a onesie, a gaming onesie, wouldn't be up your alley? How about if it was a steel case onesie?
You know what? I just
Steel Series
might.
onesies.
I just might, not for the fact of it's a Steel Series, because I have a good friend who wears onesies all the time. And I'm like, okay, so her and I will have a gaming marathon one day in the future, and I'll wear the onesie.
You wouldn't catch me fucking dead in one. Anyway, this stylish monochromatic onesie is comfortable enough to wear for consecutive hours or even days of hardcore gaming, and is also suitable for just hanging out with chums or, according to the accompanying literature, at many other social events. Presumably a public shame is what you're into. The SteelSeries Pro gaming suit is 100% awesome, SteelSeries continues, seemingly with tongue-in-cheek, or at least partly. Worry no more about matching t-shirt and jeans, jumpers and sweatpants, or vests and shorts. Let the Pro gaming suit take the hassle out of your daily grind. Now, if you guys think I am punking you on this, I am not. Here is the link to the post with it. There you go. Really? A onesie?
Apparently they're, unfortunately, a bit of a big thing these days. Like my one friend, she's got like at least 4 or 5.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's double zippered.
Yeah, this
They can unzip it from the crotch.
Well, come on. Well, not only that,
You
like,
don't
you
have to
did get
zip
something
it
in the
down
back
all the
end.
way. Just go, whoop.
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised it doesn't come with a bottle.
You know what? It sucks. There's nothing on the back end either. So you have to sit down. You got to take it all the way down.
Now, there is an obligatory tone to this post where they say, note, April 1st is 2 days away. So, are we looking at a preliminary April Fool's joke? Or is this something that you think that SteelSeries would actually try and pull off?
I don't know.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Can go either way.
Actually, that reminds me, I'm excited for April 1st now. Because how many video game companies and ThinkGeek, Blizzard, how many companies are really good at doing April Fool's jokes?
I'm sorry. April Fool's
I'm ready to see what Google does.
Just a waste. I mean, look, okay, now you have to understand, I'm coming at this from running blogs, okay? Trying to get real news. And you know what April 1st is? It's a day off. Because there is no real news.
Well, like for most people, we'll cover, like especially the Blizzard stuff, because they're always been pretty top notch for the most part. It is covering what they pranked everyone with, including usually their patch notes for like World of Warcraft or StarCraft. If you actually sit down and read them, are actually hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Or you could just go cover something totally off the wall. Like bee farming.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Not. Apparently, I guess in the Get to Work expansion coming for Sims 4, you can now build a basement area.
Welcome back, basements.
Yeah, you'll find the basement tool in the build list next to walls. You are now free to attempt ambitious levels of landscaping not since seen the management game of the 90s. In addition to an additional above ground floors available for a total of 4 up and 2 down. For the mathematically challenged, that's 6 floors.
Really?
Whoopee?
Wouldn't this have been something they should have put in?
They at least changed it up now. You can do 2 floors full up.
Yeah. So you can have like a double basement. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Sims is probably a really good game. Probably is a really good game. I know a lot of people. Like I follow a lot of people on Twitter that are just absolute Sim nuts. Sim Maniac is one of those people. He loves Sims, and Sims 4, when I've seen it played, looks like it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, but
yeah,
I have more fun watching it be played than playing it.
Exactly.
Except whenever my Sims don't last very long, because I torment them.
Well, not only that, you don't have to deal with the anxiety of, okay, you just woke up, you have an hour to get yourself ready and get going to work, and I know it's going to take you 3 to do everything I need to do. It's relaxing and extremely stressful at times.
No, I haven't, Cylon. But if we do, you will be guaranteed to hear it here pretty well right off the bat, because we know everybody here is a big Star Wars fan. So yeah, you'll hear about it for sure. Because if I don't tell you, Karida will, and she'll beat me until I do say something. Which could actually... Anyway.
Promise or threat?
Yeah, really. I'll take the promise over the threat.
I'd probably just bring the rope.
Hey, now. There we go. Now we get interesting. You know, when it comes to video games, this is kind of an interesting thought. Like, most of the games that we see, regardless of genre really, are pretty specific to regions. Like, in North America, you can be pretty well sure that if the social justice warriors aren't getting involved and Gamersgate is shutting the fuck up, you're going to have a lot of sort of white-oriented characters. In Europe, you're going to have a different type of tone to the game, like European-created games. there's a gaming company in Africa called Kiro Games, and their objective is to create a game based on African legends, with a serious African feel to the game, both in color palette and storytelling, characters, the whole works. They say games can and should carry the seeds of wisdom that Africa can offer, continues the narrator. We want to create an inner awakening through video games. To explain the mission, the company has developed a cultural outlook on the difference between mythologies across dominant geographies. American RPGs are based on conquest or saving the world for justice or peace. European RPGs, even if they draw upon Greek or Nordic mythologies, are often based on Christian philosophies and focus on the prophecies of a chosen one. Japanese RPGs are based on Hiroshima trauma, the heroes trying to avoid a big explosion. What they're trying to do in their game called Orion is to give another perspective. The power in our game is mainly a consequence of an inner path, not just your physical training. To fulfill your own goals, you must count on a connection between you and your ancestors. Now, we do have a video for this game. We'll take a quick look at it and see what you guys think of Orion. Hey, Baracus. Okay, so that's Orion. And now, right off the bat, I got to say it's a side scroller. I'm not interested in it. Okay, I will say the color palette, the design is kind of nice. It's different. You definitely get that African influence. But even the game mechanics... Okay, here's the question. Other than just changing the palette of the game and changing the skin color of the people playing the game, or characters in the game. Is this any different than any other RPG?
Yes and no. Like it
Yay! I didn't even get to. Sorry.
But it looks like it's got the RPG elements, but it's like a fighter or like a Final Fight style fighting system, which I kind of like. I was kind of saddened to see that you play the male predominantly, and the female is a support character. Like, I'm looking at this thinking that they're interchangeable, but I don't know. But it looks really interesting. It's something I want to keep an eye on.
Karada, what had you so excited? I like. What's going on?
Well, first off, Silent, no. It's definitely not a Final Fantasy ripoff. If anything, it is hearkening to the Tales of series, that was the first thing I thought of whenever I saw the way that this played.
The what series?
Tales of Symphonia.
Oh, yes.
Tales of
Yes.
Tales of Symphonia, and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of them. It also very much had that newer Street Fighter feel, to where you actually pause just a little bit whenever you throw out your attacks and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And what really got me excited was that was actually mentioned in the article, and I hadn't even read the article yet. So it was good to see some validation in what I saw with it. I am very interested to see how it is, because I do like digging into other cultures.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they pull in with it.
See, the thing is, here's my...
I'm very excited for this.
Well, I'm glad one of us is.
Too.
Because I gotta admit, it like I said, number one, it's a side scroller, and I've got no fucking interest in side scrollers. Number two, to me, it just struck me as another RPG fighting game with maybe a nice, a brighter color palette to it. I don't know. Maybe it would take actually playing it and getting into the storyline, but I don't know. I just I don't know. It really didn't do much for me. But I'm glad that Karada, that like, do us a favor. If you do end up finding anything more interesting about it, please let us know, because I always like to give any game its just desserts if it deserves it. Even though I might not like it.
Yeah. I'm interested because...
Yeah, it's being greenlit. So,
Trying to find a way I can put it on my watch list, but I can't right now. Seems.
What we have... Okay, we have a preview video for a game called Cannon Sword. Not much more to it. It's been recently kickstarted. No, wait a minute. The developer behind the recently kickstarted Brawler Fighter Strength of Sword Ultimate. This is what this is. Okay, now I understand. Strength of Sword Ultimate is the game. It's been recently kickstarted. The Cannon Sword is one of the weapons in the game.
Yeah, my eyebrows raised when I saw this article.
Okay, so let's get this positioned properly, and let's have a look and see what Cannon Sword or Strength of the Sword Ultimate is about.
Hey guys, Lubo from Event here with a little sneak preview. I'm sorry about all the crap you went through with the web store thing. So to make it up to you, we introduce the Cannon Sword.
What?
Yeah, this is the first build with it, so it's not quite finished, but got some good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna build up some mana before I go into battle. Dodge that. Now, as you can see, it doesn't do much damage when I go in and just, you know, hit him with it. But what it does do is, let me just back off and come on. Whammy kablammy. Yeah. And when you do that, the weapon gets heated, and while it's heated, you can't shoot it, but it does more damage with the normal attacks. So you basically alternate between shooting and going in for the kill. Wow. Ah, missed one. He just keeps dodging. God damn it. Okay, air slash. Ah, finally. Back off. Come and get it. Oh, did you see that? God damn it. He sidestepped my shot. I'm gonna rewind that. This is the sound I'm gonna use for rewinding. And here he comes, and nope! Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. I'm really proud of these guys. Like, the AI is holding up great. We have written literally nothing to the additional to the AI when we introduced this sword, and they're still doing pretty good against it, so yep, they are amazing. Okay, come on, come on. Nope. Boom! Oh, he's still alive. Okay, finish. That was a little anticlimactic. So, what else we got? Big guy, little guy. Okay, bring it. Too slow. And now, oh damn it! He dodged it again. I'm gonna stop shooting the little guy. I'm gonna concentrate on the big guy, because he can't dodge. And as for the little guys, I'm just going to beat them. Oh, damn it, I didn't get out of range. Okay, shoot this guy, and damn it, wait your turn. Oh, I missed you with the air slash.
He sounds like me.
Just die. Okay, and let's end it with a bang. Oh, I love the way the blade looks like when it's hot. It's so hot.
So hot.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's like 1 a.m. when I'm recording this, so I'm just tired. And well, that was the cannon sword. And if you have,
that is for Strength of the Sword Ultimate. Yeah, he was funnier than the clip.
Yeah, but it's just awesome. It's like the unrealistically large, like the Buster sword.
Yep. It's an oversized gun blade.
Fast-paced. Yeah, I've gotten into probably. Well, it depends what you Okay, what do you classify as a what would you guys classify as a fast-paced game?
Ikaruga.
Huh?
God.
It's a bullet hell
shooter.
Oh.
One of the most hellacious ones. Radiant Silvergun is another good one for bullet hell.
Well, it would help if you guys would name ones that I knew.
It would help if you actually played some good games.
One of my friends is actually, or a couple of them playing One Finger Death Punch, which literally like a stick figure fighting game, where it's 2 buttons, left and right, to attack. And I've seen them play it for like hours on end, trying to beat each other's scores. That, or even if you're by yourself and hitting one of the raids in Terraria, that can get frantic real quick, especially in the dungeon.
Well, I don't know. Trying to think of... Grim Dawn can get really, really hectic. I mean, really hectic. And I love that game to death.
Well, what about, like, you've played Quake and Doom and stuff like that.
Yeah,
those are fast-paced games.
I played all those. I grew up on Doom. Descent. Descent is another one that is just insanely fast-paced. And to boot, it's like 360 degrees on an XY axis. So you never know where you're going next or who's coming at you from what angle. But yeah, no, I've played my fair share of them. So what did you think of Strength of the Sword Ultimate?
Fucking cannon sword.
Fucking cannon sword.
To quote the Hellsinger Bridge series, bitches love cannons.
So, well, okay, it's being kickstarted, so it's chances are it's gonna actually come to market. So it'll be one to keep your eye on, I guess.
Definitely, I'm keeping my eye on that because it looks like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. This next one is, how do I say this? A little weird. It's the schoolgirl sim in which you try to get away with murder.
What?
It's a Japanese anime game, so be forewarned. That should give you a good clue as to what to expect from this one. How to Get Away from Murder.
That girl is talking to Senpai. That's unacceptable. We're going to have to get rid of her. But how? We could spread nasty rumors about her until the entire school is bullying her, and she becomes so depressed that she stays home from school or commits suicide. We could stalk her until we see her breaking the school rules.
Thank you, Final Boss, very much,
expelled.
dude. I love that. Thank you very, very much.
Could commit murder, then plant the evidence on her to get her framed for the crime and get her arrested. We could stalk her until we find out if she likes any other boys, and try to set her up with another boy so that she leaves Senpai alone. All of these methods and more will be available in the final version of Yandere Sim. But for now, the method I'd like to demonstrate is a bit more direct. Of course, should you choose to eliminate one of your rivals in this manner, you should make sure that there are no witnesses around. The way that an NPC will react to witnessing murder depends on their personality. This character has the coward personality type, so when they see a murder, they will run out of the school and call the cops. The timer at the bottom left shows you how much time is remaining until the cops arrive at school. When the police arrive, they will arrest you, but that's only if there is evidence of a murder. If you manage to clean up all of the evidence that you killed someone, there will be no way for anyone to even prove that a murder actually took place, and you'll get off scot-free. Today, I'm going to show you how to get away with murder in Yandere Sim. In the final version of the game, there should be several different ways to dispose of a corpse, but the method I'm going to show you right now is the incinerator. Don't worry, in the final version of the game, that animation should be vastly improved. In order to clean up blood, you're going to need a mop. You use the mop to clean up blood like this.
Yes,
this isn't even
fair. But this is the price you have to pay if you want to be able to take someone's life and get away with it. You'll notice that as I clean up the blood, the mop is becoming more bloody. Now it's so bloody it can't even mop up any more blood. When this happens, you have to dip the mop into some water to clean it, and now it's ready to go. If you ever lose track of the blood, or you don't know if there's still some blood around at school, you can't just can't find any more blood, but the bottom left corner of the screen tells you that there's still blood around, you can activate Yandere Vision to highlight any blood that you can go clean up.
Are they fucking kidding me?
You should also be careful not to step in any pools of blood, because if you do, you'll leave behind bloody footprints that have to be cleaned up. As you can tell from the checklist at the bottom left corner of the screen, I have successfully cleaned up all of the blood in the school. The next step is to dispose of this bloody uniform I'm wearing. In the final version of the game, you should have to steal a clean uniform from a girl who's taking a shower in the girls' locker room. But for now, I just have this clean uniform lying on the ground for me. Also in the final version of the game, you should have to find a safe place to change your clothing, such as a utility closet or a bathroom stall. But for now, I'm just going to magically change my clothing on the spot. Now that I have some bloody clothing, I need to throw that away. I'm going to put it in the incinerator. The only thing left to do is just to dispose of the murder weapon. I'm also going to toss that into the incinerator. Now that the body, the uniform, and the weapon are in the incinerator, I just have to activate it. And all of the evidence goes up in smoke. Once you have activated the incinerator, you won't be able to use it for another hour. That's about 5 minutes in real life. While the incinerator is active, you can't continue putting things into it. So at this point, it would be very unwise to kill any other students, because you wouldn't be able to dispose of the evidence. Not in the incinerator, at least. At this point, I've successfully gotten away with murder. All I have to do now is avoid committing any more crimes until the police arrive. I'm going to speed up time so you can see what happens once the cops get here. Once the police arrive, you lose control of the character. You don't get to keep on walking around. When the cops arrive at school, they put the school on lockdown. They don't let anybody go anywhere. No one's coming or going. They tell all the students to stay in their classrooms because there might be a murderer running around campus. That includes Yandere-chan. She can't go anywhere. And also, the police think that she's a murder suspect, so, they're paying special attention to her. At this point, you can't go around and fight the police or try to hide. It wouldn't work out. So you just lose control of the character at this point. Here you see the results of the police investigation in text form. In the final version of the game, I'd love to be able to show images or use 3D models or 3D animations to show the results of the police investigation. But that depends entirely on what kind of budget the game gets. So in this case, the cops couldn't find any evidence that a murder even took place. They question Yandere-chan, but they can't do anything. They can't take action. So in this instance, I got off scot-free because I successfully eliminated all of the evidence. After the police investigation ends, you don't get to keep on playing like nothing happened. The teachers just send all the students home for the day. The school day just ends. When a school day ends, you progress to the next day of the week. Now, the girl that you murdered won't keep coming to school because she's dead. But the witness who saw you commit murder will still be coming to school. A witness that's seen you commit murder should probably treat you differently than other NPCs, depending on their personality. A coward would try to avoid you or run away from you if they see you. A student who is justice-minded might stalk you and try and catch you in the act of committing another crime so they can report you and get you arrested and see that justice is done. A social butterfly might spread rumors about you to try and, let people know what kind of person you really are, to tell people that you're a murderer. And that would damage your reputation for each day that she's allowed to be alive. Because of this, it's simply a good idea to eliminate anyone who has seen you committing murder. Now I'm going to demonstrate what would happen if you were to just leave a bunch of evidence lying around the school. I'm going to leave the corpse, a bloody uniform, and the murder weapon just lying around. And then I'm going to advance time to 6 p.m. and I'll show you what happens. At 6 p.m., that's when the school closes, so the teachers walk around and they look for any students that are still at school, and they say, hey, the school's closing, you gotta go home. As the teachers walk around, they're gonna find any corpses or bloody weapons that you left lying around, and then they're gonna call the cops. Now, when the cops arrive, it's the same story as before. They don't let anybody leave. You can't control the character. They investigate the school. And in this case, they found all of that evidence I left behind, so they were quickly able to link the crime to Yandere-chan and make an arrest. That's a game over. And that's everything I wanted to show.
Okay. I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. It's like, what the fuck?
I want to get it just for that reason. What the fuck?
I was just about to say, I have a feeling Karaita's going to get this game. Senpai will notice me. He'll notice me finally when all the girls are gone.
Pretty much,
What kind
Dano.
of mind thinks up this shit?
It is very much a satire thing, I would say, because my friends and I, we would have so much fun just sitting down, playing this, and laughing our asses off, and poking fun at it.
Well, yeah, because that's all you really could do. Like, this is not a game that you would take with any sense of seriousness or fast-paced act. Like, this is strictly, like, I can't believe I just murdered a girl, and now I gotta cover it up. Like, what?
Well, think about it. How many poor, harmless NPCs do gamers murder every day? What about them?
Of course, I don't even murder just the harmless ones. I murder the guards too. Just for saying the wrong thing.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, taking an arrow to the knee.
I got to hand it to the guy for, like, he's carefully thought this out, and, like, I would not want to be his neighbor, but like, you gotta want, like, has he actually practiced this to be able to walk through it like that logically, or like, has there been a raft of murders in his neighborhood lately, or like, what the fuck? Oh, anyway.
Man, now I want to go play Tenchu.
Oh. You want what?
I want to go play Tenchu.
Which is...
Go kill NPCs?
Oh, okay.
Stealth?
How about taking a look at a new Rainbow Six Siege trailer that is focusing on operators. Now, this is from the alpha version of the game, and it shows off the player-controlled operators as they attempt to rescue hostages from a building. Getting those hostages is no easy task. The trailer also includes plenty of explosions, so it seems the game will introduce numerous ways to breach through doors and even concrete walls. Barricades and large shields also make an appearance. So let's have a quick look at this trailer for Rainbow Six Siege.
In position.
Rappelling down. Let's go, let's go!
Experts in close quarters combat. Masters in seizing the tactical advantage. The most elite special forces from around the world. We are Rainbow.
Ready and waiting!
Jabber near! Shield up! Let's move it! Stay away from the wall! Door barricaded! Preparing breach charge! Go, go, go!
Target on the 4th floor.
Charges up! Fire in the hole! Follow me!
We lost one. Only 4 of us left.
Hostage secured!
The rules of combat have changed. It's time to reactivate Rainbow.
Now, from what I understand, this is a full 5 versus 5 type battle. This is meant for esports.
Should have done it 6-6.
Well, four versus 4, 5 versus 5, 6 versus. It's you know.
The name.
Yes, I know in the name, but it looked good.
Yeah, it looks good. It looked pretty good. It was kind of a little skippy on my end, but it looked really good.
This is not a game I would end up playing, mainly because shut up. Sometimes this site really pisses me off on how it handles shit. Anyway, this isn't your style of game, is it, Karada? No, no. How about to watch?
That one looks a bit more interesting to watch, maybe. But there's not a lot of story to it, so I probably wouldn't really.
Well,
if somebody was playing it, I'd probably watch, maybe, if I had nothing better to do.
Do you think this is geared more towards esports, Red, than anything else?
I think it's what they're trying to do. I'm not sure how well they're going to be able to pull it off, like considering that's the style of game that they're normally fall under. But it's going to be one of those. We have to really wait and see the final product and how it plays. If it's going to be as quick paced as a lot of the more modern shooters, or if it's going to have a little bit more like careful, meticulous planning and strategy involved with it.
Now, I know that there was PC Gamer had, I think it was a good 15, 20-minute video of a walkthrough. Like, they got about 2 or 3 hours with the game, and I didn't grab that one to because it was just too long, and it was no. But we'll keep an eye on this one because it does look like it's going to be good. But here's the thing, you know. If it's esport oriented, which I think it is, it's joining some pretty heavy ranks because you've got the Call of Duty, you've got CS:GO, you've got and you've got the what is it, the other new one that's coming out where they got the bank heist.
Hardline.
Hardline, that's it. Yeah. So it's going up again, and then you've got the Division coming out very soon as well. And then on top of that, you've got, hopefully one of these days, very soon, you've got GTA 5 for the PC coming, which is, like obviously the next big one that everybody's waiting for, as far as, along those lines. So, I don't know. I think they may be resting a little bit too much on the laurels of the Rainbow Six series. But we'll see. We'll see. I got it. Anybody remember Space Cadets?
It sounds awfully familiar, but I don't think I've ever played it.
The old Windows 95 pinball game?
Oh, the one that came bundled with it? Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yep.
That was I love pinball. And the good old fashioned mechanical pinball machines, but Space Cadet, I will admit, was a good substitute, especially for a quick coffee break, play through, and just have some fun with. Even learned that as long as you copied the executable over, it could carry through to just about any Windows machine, NT or 95, 97, 2000. You just had to find the executable and copy it over. There was your game. Worked fine. But that was my first introduction to computer pinball machines, and I liked it. And quite often, when I had the Xbox up and running, I had the Zen pinball games on there that I would waste a few hours on. I like playing it. But they're revealing some new tables that they're bringing to their pinball game for Star Wars Rebel. I saw your eyebrow perk up there, Karaya. I saw that one perk up there. We
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We do have a trailer for it, and we'll have a look, and see how excited Karida gets, if she does or not. But you're supposed to switch. There we go. Let's have a look at...
With the first season of Star Wars Rebels recently released, Zen Studios is set to release a new digital pinball table based on the title at the end of April. In order to avoid spoilers, they've chosen to keep the playable objectives based on characters. My personal favorite is getting to play as Chopper, who acts like a bumper repairing the ship's damaged shields in the extra section at the top.
Get back up there and fix the shields! Wait, what are you doing back here? Shouldn't you be fixing the shields? Get back up there and fix the shields!
Now, one thing about the Zen pinball, they are multi-level like crazy. They have games within games.
Okay, you caught me. I give up. Ezra.
Working on it.
Punch it!
I still sense the Jedi and his Padawan within my grasp. Set the detonator.
Got it.
Prep for an up.
Calm down, Chief.
Blast them? Did you not understand?
Next time they make a move, we'll be waiting for them to snuff out that spark before it catches fire.
Well, every little bit helps.
So that's the the Star Wars Rebel table.
Hey guys.
Coming for the Zen Pinball game. Like I said, Zen Pinball, they have some pretty complicated. Like I think I've got about 3 or 4 of the different Marvel ones, and I've got a couple of the other fantasy. Like, they are complicated tables to play, but they're a lot of fun. Now, I don't know whether I don't know if I'm that much of a Star Wars fan that I would get this, but what do you guys think?
It looks really nice. It looks really nice, but I'm like you. I kind of prefer the physical machine than anything.
Well, the Zen makes a good standby. You know, if you can't make it to an arcade and you aren't rich enough to have your own machine.
It's true.
True. What did you think, Karida? She's trying to be nice.
Oh no. I like playing pinball games. It's just the ones that I always enjoyed were the ones that could be actual tables.
Yeah, true enough. Because like I said, they make their tables pretty complicated. I know there's Pinball FX as well is another one out there that does tables as well. They're not quite as complicated as the Zen. But yeah,
I used to like the shareware ones. I forget who it was that did them.
I don't remember.
Good ones.
I know. Yeah. I know the ones you're talking about because I used to play them as well.
It's like for the shareware thing, you can get like the Android.
Yeah. It's
DOS based.
Yeah. Or early Windows-based ones that were, not bad at all. But yeah, no, that's the problem. I end up I've sort of walked away from Zen is because they do make the tables too busy. I think that's the word to use. They're just too busy.
Yeah.
Like I think if they simplified it a little bit, and made it a little more realistic, it would be a lot more. One of the best ones I ever played was actually done. I can't remember the name of it, but it was done by a German brewery, and the table was a bar, And it was probably one of the best pinball games I've ever played on the computer. I wish I could find it again, but I can't. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a great one. It was really was. But anyway, we are coming to the end of tonight's shows, folk. Let me put the S the other way around. Coming to the end of tonight's show, folks. How's that? I got that one right. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Red Mage, for popping in and being part of the show. Thank you, Karida, for being here. Much appreciated. I hope we've given everybody a fun night, conversation and humor and game information. Conversation. If you've enjoyed the show and you haven't followed yet, please consider doing so and hitting that follow button down there. It lets us know that we're doing something right, and we'll keep on doing it. Also, if you want to help support us a little bit more, there's the donate button. Now, a couple of announcements. Starting Wednesday, this Wednesday, it was originally going to be 10 o'clock, but I think I'm going to have to move it down to 10:30 because I just don't think I'm a decent enough human being any earlier than that. I'll be starting off a daily show at 10:30 in the morning called Morning Coffee with Cranky. And basically it'll be me, whoever happens to be in TeamSpeak at the time, or whoever's in chat, and just going over whatever's new, gaming news or pop culture news is in my morning feed. Nothing complicated, just a conversation, sharing the news, letting you guys know what the morning headlines are as far as games are concerned. So that's Morning Coffee with Cranky. 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I can do it earlier, I will, but don't count on it because I still need at least to get a coffee or two into me before I do it. Also, Wednesday afternoon, we have a very special The Interviews show at 2 p.m. Eastern with the developers for Weaponographist. And I am looking really forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then starting next Tuesday, we are going to be starting a new show called The Rec Room at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And it's 4 co-hosts sitting around, yakking, having a good time, smack talking gaming, talking this, while playing a tabletop simulator game. Risk, Monopoly, whatever catches our fancy for that day. So yeah, we've got some fun stuff coming, folks. So stay tuned. If you really want to know what's going on, follow me on Twitter. I am the Cranky Canuck on Twitter, and I try and let you guys know what's happening in regards to the shows. But until I guess tomorrow at 12 a.m. as usual, this has been the Cranky Canuck. This has been Late Night with Cranky and Friends, and I thank you all for being here. But remember, folks, the two most important words of all: game on.
Without you, without you, without you. Days go by, days go by, days go by. Days go by, days go by.